Hi, this is Seema, and today I'm gonna teach you a new lesson on car accidents. Well, we are going to learn words and expressions relating to car accidents. Well, what is a car accident? Well, I did try to do a bit of drawing. When a car bangs against another car, just like this, or when your car bangs against an object, like say a tree or a lamppost, or if your car bangs against a person, which is very bad. All of this is what a car accident is all about. But there are various words and expressions that revolve around car accidents, which you must know. Okay, so let's have a look at a few of them. The first one being slammed on the brakes. Okay, now when your car is going really fast and when you slam on the brakes, that means you are stopping suddenly. When do you do this? When do you stop suddenly? When do you slam on the brakes? In case of an emergency, right? So when something happens that, is an emergency, you've got to slam on the brakes. Another word is basically hitting the brakes. You can also say slam on the brakes or hitting the brakes. So you could say something like, when I saw the child run across the road, I had to slam on the brakes. Or I hit the brakes when I saw a little puppy crossing the road. Okay, so slamming on the brakes is stopping your car suddenly in case of an emergency. And the next one is to run over. Okay, well, run basically means you are on the go. And over is, going over something, on top of something. So run over is basically to pass. To pass over a person, an object, while you are driving. So this is a really bad thing when you are running over and you're really fast in your car. If your car passes over a person or an object, well, that's what running over is all about. So you can say, my friend Joe ran over a little cat last night. So he was going really fast and he went over the cat. Ouch, that's very bad. Yeah. And the next one is sideswiped. Okay, now sideswiped. Okay, the very word side talks about the side of a car. Okay, and swipe is basically to, just go past it, brush past it. So sideswiped basically means to hit the side of a parked car. So your car is, nicely sitting there in the parking lot, and there is some guy who doesn't know to park his car. He tries to park his car, but he accidentally hits the side of your car, which is parked. So that's what sideswiped is all about. So you can say, I sideswiped my dad's car last night. My dad was very angry because of that. So sideswiping is something we don't like if it happens to our cars, yeah? And the next one is rear-ended. Well, this is kind of like sideswiped, except that in this case, you hit the back. So the rear means back. So here you are hitting the back of a car. Now in this case, your car could be parked or your car could be, on the road. So you can say something like, the traffic was so crazy this morning that the taxi rear-ended the van. Well, it happens when you are really close to each other when there is rush hour traffic. You end up rear-ending other vehicles by mistake. And then you have the expression lost control. Lost control is basically an expression you use when you can't control your car at high speeds. So you lose control when your car is at very high speed. Now this could be for two main reasons, okay? You either lose control because you are an inexperienced driver or you are a new driver, or there could be some car defects. So maybe your brakes are not working very well, so you slam on the brakes, you try to hit the brakes, does not work very well, your car just loses control. Or you're a new driver, you don't know to control the car at very high speeds. So you can say something like, when you are driving for the first time, drive slowly or you will lose control of your car, which ultimately will result in a car accident. Okay, that is what losing control is all about. And then you've got skidding. Well, what is it to skid, or what is skidding mean in relation to a car? When your car just slips or slides over a slippery surface, so when your car, you have a slippery surface, like maybe there is oil on the road, which makes it slippery, or maybe there was rain, which makes the road slippery. So when your car just slides through, skids over a slippery surface, that is what skidding means, okay? And skidding is basically losing control in the way because the road is slippery and you've just, slipped over the road because you can't get control over the car, okay? So you can say that something like, the bike skid because it rained, but fortunately nobody was hurt, okay? The next one is to roll over. What is it to roll over? Well, the word roll basically means to go upside down, yeah? So these happen in really bad accidents. So, when you have like a really major, collision, when two cars slam each other and there's a really huge accident, sometimes cars can roll over, they can go upside down. So you can say something like, there was a huge accident last night, many cars rolled over. Many cars apparently turned upside down, right? And then you've got speeding. Well, this is a very common word, which basically means to drive very fast. We all speed because we all want to get somewhere, someplace on time. But if you are speeding excessively, you are driving very fast, that also causes car accidents because you can end up rear-ending someone, you can end up sideswiping someone, you can end up losing control, right? So you can say something like, don't speed or you might get a ticket or you will get fined. Okay, so these are some of the expressions relating to car accidents. I'll be back with some more. Okay, so the next expression or the next word relating to car accidents is tailgating. Tailgating. Well, the word tail basically means something very close to the back of your car, right? Tail is like at the back, yeah? So tailgating basically means driving very close behind another vehicle. So sometimes when you're driving on the road, there is a car or a truck following you really close behind, right? That's what tailgating is, because it's really close to your back. Well, the back of your car, I mean. So you can say something like, the truck was practically tailgating me throughout the entire highway, and that was very annoying, right? Or you shouldn't tailgate anyone, because if that person stops, then you might bump into them, right? That's what tailgating is all about, driving really, really close behind another vehicle. Okay, the next one is drunk driving. Okay, well, drunk driving, we all know, it is driving under the influence of alcohol. So a lot of people after a party, well, obviously they have drunk a lot and then they want to drive a car. Well, that's not really recommended, because drunk driving can really, make you lose control, because when you are drunk, you don't have very good senses. You may not be able to concentrate while driving. You may not be able to be very responsive to people or cars around you. So drunk driving shouldn't happen. So you can say something like, drunk driving is irresponsible and the major cause of various bad accidents. Okay, so don't ever indulge in drunk driving. It's very bad. The next one is reckless driving. Reckless driving could be drunk driving, but reckless driving is so much more. It basically means driving dangerously or driving impatiently or driving without observation. People who are reckless drivers, and I used to be one of them, we switch lanes, okay? So there are some people, they just switch lanes. And when people switch lanes, sometimes if you are a reckless driver, you will not give an indicator to the car coming behind you, telling them whether you want to turn a left or a right, okay? Or sometimes, you know, you are so impatient that you just want to drive without even looking at another car if it's coming, you know, from the opposite direction. So reckless driving is really dangerous driving. You are impatient, you don't observe the road carefully or observe the people on the road carefully while you are driving. So that's being very reckless, and therefore this is also a major cause of many car accidents. And the next one is road rage. Well, I always have a lot of road rage, especially during working hours, because I am in a rush to get somewhere and I want to drive really fast. But what is road rage? Road rage is basically driving aggressively because you are angry at another driver or another person who is driving next to you or behind you. Okay, so that's driving aggressively by getting angry at another driver, obviously. So, you know, someone cuts your lane, someone tries to drive recklessly in front of you. Now, you are very angry that the guy did that, so you are going to indulge in road rage. Now, you're going to show that person, okay, you've cut the lane, so I'm going to show you some little thing about driving. So you are going to drive faster than that person, and you're going to drive aggressively, which might end up in a car accident because you're going to speed, right? So road rage is another very bad thing, and road rage is very connected to reckless driving, okay? So that's what road rage is, being very angry while you are driving a car. The next one is distracted driving. Distracted driving is also reckless driving in a way, but distracted driving basically talks about being distracted, you know, in your mind when you're driving. So maybe you are talking to someone on a cell phone while you're driving, which is very bad. Maybe you are fidgeting with the stereo. You've got, you know, the stereo, the music player in your car. So you're fidgeting with the buttons on your stereo. You are talking with your friends who are sitting in a car with you. When you are driving, if you don't do all these things, okay, you are not distracted. But if you are indulging in any one of these things, you are a very distracted driver. My friend Tim was a very distracted driver. Believe me, I wouldn't ever ride with him. I would rather take the bus. Okay, so that's what distracted driving is. It doesn't allow you to concentrate on the road. It is much more than reckless driving. Okay, and then you've got hit and run. Well, the very word, you hit someone and you run away. Okay, so it basically means that you just run off after hitting a person or an object on the road. So, well, there are some people, you know, very bad. They drive a car, they hit a person, they hit an object, and they don't want to be responsible for it. So they just speed away. So that is what a hit and run is. We've had several hit and run accidents in this year. So you can say something like, the hit and run driver is still being searched by the police. So apparently there are some drivers who do this very constantly. They hit people or they hit something, an object maybe, and they just run off. They don't want to be responsible for what they've done, right? And our next expression is pile up. What does it mean to pile up? Okay, pile up is basically many cars or multiple cars involved in an accident. Well, how can multiple cars be involved in an accident? Well, in the year 2009, there was a major accident in Abu Dhabi, I believe, and many cars, like around 20 cars, were involved in that accident. That was a pileup. Now, when does a pileup occur? A pileup occurs when the weather condition is bad. So maybe it's snowing and you can't see anything. So a lot of cars, skid. So many cars are involved in an accident. Or maybe there's a lot of sand on the road, or oil on the road. There could have been an oil spill, for example. So that can also cause a pileup, because many cars skid, many cars turn over, roll over maybe. So pileup is basically having multiple cars involved in a car accident because of weather conditions or bad road conditions. Okay, well, that's it from me on this lesson on car accident vocabulary. I hope you found it very interesting and very informative. Well, I'll be back with some more lessons. Until then, this is me saying drive safe and stay away from car accidents.